inshallah ta'ala, I would like to change and talk a little bit about some of the fiqhi aspects of Ramadan. And we are going to deal with some common questions and common issues that usually are asked every Ramadan, and they need to be revisited and reminded. Inshallah ta'ala, I would like to start off with the start of Ramadan. It is a topic that confuses so many Muslims and sometimes bothers so many Muslims. Inshallah ta'ala, at least we would like to shed some light on the fiqhi aspect of it, so people inshallah ta'ala are more relaxed when this topic is being discussed. The question is, why there is so much differences in how the month of Ramadan should start? And to answer this question, we would like to share some fiqhi knowledge regarding this. Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, "Sumu li ru'yatihi wa aftaru li ru'yatihi, fa in humma alaykum فَأَكْمِلُوا عِدَّةَ شَعْبَانَ 30." That the Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, fast when you see the moon and break the fast when you see the moon, or actually when you see the hilal, the crescent. فَإِنْ غُمَّ عَلَيْكُمْ, if you are unable to see the moon for whatever reason, then continue the iddah, continue the month 30 days. So the month either 29 days or 30 days. So this is the hadith of the Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, and most of the hadith about Ramadan has the same in the same meaning, similar to this language. صُومُوا لِرُؤْيَتِهِ وَأَفْطِرُوا لِرُؤْيَتِهِ. So it is clear that the month either 29 or 30 days. So at the 9th of 29th of Sha'ban or any month, we should try to see the moon. If not, if we don't see the moon, then inshallah ta'ala, we can continue Sha'ban 30 days, and then Ramadan will be the next day. The issue that we usually have when it comes to the practice of this hadith is which moon should be sighted. Is it local? Is it global? This is one question. How the moon should be sighted? By visual sighting, naked eye, or we can use optical aid. So that's what resulted to so many differences in how Muslims practice the Sunnah, and all these groups trying to implement the teaching of the Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, and we should respect these differences. And I would like also you brothers and sisters to understand that ahkam al-fiqhiyya are of two categories. Fiqh part, the fiqh teachings of the Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam are of two categories. One category called or known as al-qat'i, which is set on stone, which is there is no room for interpretations, different interpretations. The Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, for example, prohibited alcohol or riba or mandated hijab or salawat. There is no room for differences, there is no room for interpretations. So we call this al-ahkam fiqhiyya al-qat'iyyat. Al-qat'iyyat, which means the text, whether the Quran or Sunnah, is very clear and there is no room for interpretation. Right? This is part of the fiqh. And there is so much of the fiqh that belongs to this nature. The second part of the fiqh, we call it al-dhanniyat. Al-dhanniyat, when there is a hadith or ayah, but there is a room for different interpretation. The same hadith, the same ayah could be understood differently. Not with hawa, not we are following our desires. Actually, even if we follow the proper methodology of ijtihad, then we can understand different things from the same hadith or ayah. I will give you a small example that is very known in the seerah of the Prophet. One day, the Prophet was coming back from a battle, and groups of Arabs betrayed the Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. They had treaty with the Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, and they betrayed him, and they fought against him with other enemies. So the Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam wanted to teach them a lesson. So he told the Sahaba, as they were coming back from this battle, he said, لا يصلين أحد العصر إلا في بني قريظة. So he wanted to urge the Muslims to go and teach these tribes a lesson. He said, no one of you should pray Asr until you reach a place called Bani Qurayza. This is a group of Yahud. So the Sahaba immediately left Medina toward Bani Qurayza. On the middle of the journey, Salat Asr arrives. So Sahaba had a different understanding to the same hadith. They heard it from the Nabi directly, not 1400 years later. Everybody heard it from the mouth of the Nabi. The group of Sahaba said, well, Salat time, we have to pray. The other group of Sahaba said, well, the Nabi is the Prophet of God, and he told us, don't pray Asr until you reach what? Banu Qurayza. So we are going to obey him. He's the source of Sharia. And the Sahaba split into two groups. Some Sahaba prayed on time, and some Sahaba continued the journey until they reached Banu Qurayza. And they said, we are going to pray there, even if we reach it after Isha. We don't care. We listen to the hadith of the Nabi. The battle was over. They came back to the Nabi and they told him the story. The long story short, the Nabi did not لم يخطئ أحد منهم. He did not blame neither one of them. So he approved the concept of ijtihad, that my statement was muhtamil. You know what muhtamil means? It could mean this, it could mean this. So he approved the ijtihad. And that is being the topic discussed in Usul al-Fiqh, Bab al-Ijtihad, and what are the objectives of Sharia behind these differences. So what I would like to tell you today is, the topic of Ramadan and how to start Ramadan is in this category. It's dhaniyat, it's not qat'iyat. So we should not be very rigid in terms of this topic, and we should have room and open understanding and open mindset, so it's not us against them and them against us, and we are upon the truth, they are wrong. It's not like this. There is a room for understanding. Now, the next point is, this category that is dhaniyat, ahkam al-fiqhiyya that are muhtamil, that have room for different interpretations, this category also can be broken into two categories as well. One of the first one is the ahkam al-fiqhiyya that are at the personal level, right? And there are ahkam al-fiqhiyya that are at the public level. The ahkam al-fiqhiyya that are personal level, for example, there is ikhtilaf among the madahib where you put your hand when you pray. Put the chest or the belly, or you like this, like Maliki school. This is ahkam. So when it comes to this ahkam, your consciousness, you follow an imam and you worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala according to this school, and you will meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala safe, as long as you are following proper taqleed. The second category is ahkam dhaniyya, that is not set on stone, that is not clear cut, but it is ahkam that is not at the personal level, like some political issues, fiqhi political issues, how to establish an imam that is khalifa, not an imam of the masjid, or some big matters. And one of them is how to start Ramadan and how to establish the Eid. These ahkam that is not at the personal level, in Usul al-Fiqh there is a qa'idah, there is a rule called حكم الحاكم يرفع الخلاف. The ruler of the Muslim Ummah will make the call, and his decision is final. When there is a khilafat fiqhiyya, the hakim, of course, it has to be legitimate hakim, not any hakim, that has the proper qualifications. The ruler of the ummah makes the call in accordance to the proper ijtihad, and also based on the best interest of the ummah, we make, okay, I know there is a khilaf, this is what we practice, and all the Muslim ummah must follow. When it comes to Ramadan, with all these issues, in Muslim countries, this issue is resolved by the Muslim governments, whether we like them or we don't like them. But when, for example, Pakistan or Algeria or not India, any other Muslim country, the government tomorrow Ramadan, everybody will follow. We don't care which methodology they follow, right? And this is the right thing to do, by the way. Just your government said tomorrow the Hilal, you follow. Now, all other deficiencies or mistakes that they might happen, at the end of the day, the maslahah that all the Muslim ummah fast on the same day, break the fast of the day. The issue that we have, and we have just 3-4 minutes, inshallah ta'ala, the issue that we have is, in minorities, in West communities, Muslim communities, we don't have that body that can make the final call. that the body that when the decision is made, we are going to follow this methodology, there is no room for interpretations or my opinion, your opinion. No, this is how it's going to be done, and we all fast on one day, we have Eid on the same day. Now, this is the issue that we face in non-Muslim societies, like where Muslims are as minorities. And in these occasions or in these situations, we do our best as masajid, as organizations, to do our best, inshallah ta'ala, to have the fast together, to have the Eid together. And alhamdulillah, even in the capital district, there is a genuine, serious attempt, inshallah ta'ala, to achieve this. That inshallah ta'ala will be having Ramadan on the same day, like other masajid, and the Eid on the same day. However, we would like you to understand these 2 points, and we live with this. The most difference that happened in the West when it comes to the moon sighting is whether we should go with global sighting or local sighting. And that also based on a hadith that happened in the time of Muawiyah. And when Muawiyah was the Khalifa of the Ummah, a Sahabi came from Medina to Dimashq. And he asked him, Muawiyah asked him, in Medina, when did you start Ramadan? He said, we started Ramadan Sunday. Muawiyah said, well, we started Ramadan on Monday. So a group of the ulama took this report and they said, look, at the time of the Sahaba, they started Ramadan in a different day, so there is nothing wrong with this. You have the majority, and this is the Shafi'i school. This is what? Imam Shafi'i school. On the other hand, you have Hanafi, Maliki, and Hanbali school said, no. The default is the Ummah should start on the same day and should have Ramadan on the same day and Eid on the same day. What happened at that time, because lack of communication, there is no way that this Ummah from Dimashq to Medina to be reported. If they see the moon in Medina, how would they know in Dimashq? If they see the moon in Yemen, how do they know in North Africa? If they see the moon in North Africa, how do they know in the Middle East? So because they had no option, then each locality, each sort of country, if you will, they have the permission to start the moon, to start Ramadan when they see the moon. And alhamdulillah, with this massive advancement in technology and communication, now when the moon is being sighted in South Africa, the very next moment somebody in Alaska would know, right? So now this is what is happening today. We have still some scholars adopting the Shafi'i school, which is local sighting, and we don't fast, we don't have Eid until the moon is being sighted locally. And also you have an issue, what does it mean locally? It means Troy, means New York State, means United States of America, means Canada, United States and Mexico. What does it mean local sighting? So also they differ in determining what local means. And you have the majority of the ulama, those they believe in the global sighting. The reason why I give you this information, I know you are not going to determine the moon, and it will be determined by the leadership of the Muslim community here, but at least you are familiar with this. So whatever the decision is made, so you don't have some resistance or some issues, because at the end of the day, there is no clear right and clear wrong. It's all ijtihad. It is all ijtihad, and everyone's trying to practice the sunnah of the Nabi in the best way possible. However, that doesn't mean all people are right. People do make mistakes, but at least we are aware of the background of this jihad. However, the good news is, as I told you a while ago, that there is an attempt, a work from the local masajid that inshallah ta'ala Ramadan will be started in the same day, and the Eid will be started in the same day. I hope inshallah ta'ala we will be successful in this work, and inshallah ta'ala at least we can unite the Muslims in the capital district that they start Ramadan in the same day, we have Ramadan in the same day. There is no doubt that it is al-maqsid of Sharia, objective of Sharia of Islam, to have unity in Ramadan, to have unity in the day of Eid, and inshallah ta'ala this is something that all these masajid are working toward, inshallah ta'ala. I hope this gives some background and give some understanding to why ulama differed in how the moon is being determined and how the Ramadan starts. Wallahu ta'ala أعلم وأعلم. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك. Ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to grant us tawfiq to reach Ramadan and fast Ramadan in the way that pleases Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. اللهم بلغنا رمضان، اللهم بلغنا رمضان، اللهم اجعلنا فيه من الفائزين، اللهم بلغنا رمضان واجعلنا فيه من الفائزين. ربنا وفقنا لصيامه وقيامه على الوجه الذي يرضيك عنا، ربنا وفقنا لصيامه وقيامه على الوجه الذي يرضيك عنا، اللهم وفقنا واجعلنا ممن قامه وصامه إيمانا واحتسابا. والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته.